If you're going to be transplanting your plants into your garden pretty soon, you might want to take a look at the insect levels where you're going to be transplanting. I was getting ready to amend the soil in my raised beds, and I noticed a lot of bugs in my raised beds, mostly pill bugs, also known as sow bugs or roly-polies, and I know some people keep them as pets, and kids really love them because they're so cute, but they are not very cute when they are chomping down on all of my plants. Earwigs are also another pest that I have battled for years. They are supposed to eat decaying matter, but they have also taken out many plants before. One year, I didn't even have much of a garden to show for because they ate nearly everything I had down to the bones. Grubs are pretty terrible too. These will turn into those brown June beetles, and these are particularly bad because they will chew the roots of your plants, and it can actually take them about a year to mature out of this grubby stage. So if you think about it, that's a long time that they can be doing damage to your plants. And then you've got June bugs that will reproduce, and then you just repeat the vicious cycle. At least for the grubs, it's easy enough to pick out as many as you can. If you've got chickens or other birds that you can let hang out in your raised beds to have a field day, let them. They'll peck at all of these insects. However, you are very unlikely to get all of them out of your beds, and with the earwigs and pill bugs, you definitely will not be able to get all of them, and they're harder to get than grubs due to how small they are. I am a big fan of this stuff right here called Sluggo Plus, but I don't recommend it in this instance because also in my raised beds are worms, and Sluggo Plus will kill worms. However, an alternative that I use is diatomaceous earth, and it's just crushed up fossilized remains of aquatic organisms known as diatoms. And what this stuff does to soft-bodied insects is it dries them out so they cease to exist. However, diatomaceous earth doesn't affect worms, so this is why I chose this over the Sluggo Plus in this situation, because worms are so good for your soil, and they'll leave behind their castings straight into the bed, providing some really good nutrients, so we want to protect those worms. Now, a word of caution for the diatomaceous earth is that it is a powder, it's very dusty, and even the smallest gust of wind can make this go everywhere. And even if you use one of those little duster application bottles to kind of puff it out, it can still get everywhere, and it can irritate your respiratory system. And while it is natural, anything in a powdery form like this can be bad to breathe in, so I really suggest wearing a mask when you are applying this stuff. When I apply diatomaceous earth, I kind of just spread it all around the bed, but I do have some really big heaps of pill bugs. So what I will do is I will put a huge handful right where I've seen a large population of them and just leave it there. And you do want to do this on dry soil because when it's wet, it will be ineffective. So don't add water, and if it's going to rain, I'd wait a bit to apply this. And of course, the rain may even attract more of these bad pests in your garden. So definitely wait until it stops raining to do this. So now this is the next day, and while there are still lots of pill bugs roaming around here from what I can see, and as far as the earwigs, I actually and surprisingly did not see that many in here to start with for once, but there's definitely a lot less insects in here overall. But I'd like to see even less, so I will be adding a little more diatomaceous earth and working more into the soil, and hopefully I should really start to see less and less. And even if you still see a couple of these bugs here and there, it's only a problem if it becomes a full infestation. And on a final note, even though these are garden enemies, they still do play roles in our ecosystems. We just have to make sure we don't have infestations, because if we have an infestation, then our ecosystems might become unbalanced.